Hey guys, Alone with Company here again, and today we're coming at you with a little bit of a different video. I am doing a video response to ShotGunShanni. Now, she is a wonderful little lady. Her and her husband William make some excellent looking custom leather holsters, and she even showed off a bandolier the other day that I'm kind of slightly interested in. And I've got to talk fast here because my video is probably going to run long. I apologize, ShotGunShanni. But the reason I really want to get into this video, or into this little contest, because it's the first one that had a subject that I instantly knew, what I was going to do. And it held a lot of good depth for me, and I think I have something worthwhile to say in the matter. So let's get right into it. Her question for the contest was, what's your most favorite firearm, or more importantly to me, the one that means the most to you? Now, when I watched her video, I had two firearms that popped into mind. The one that I thought would actually have the better story is this. A World War II Japanese Arisaka Type 99 long, which is a bolt action 7.7 by 58 millimeter. Here's a couple of examples of these beefy bad boys right here. Got some soft points there, and then some looks like match grade ammo. This thing's a beast. It can shoot, and I thought originally that would be the best story. But then the other pistol that came to mind was this one, which is a Belgian-made copy of a Colt Cowboy Ranger. This is not a true Cowboy Ranger, even though it is stamped on the top Cowboy Ranger. However, doing a little bit of research, it is actually a Belgian-made copy. But it was manufactured around 1880. Yeah. And it still shoots. I know from personal experience, because when it was finally passed down to me, I shot it and she shoots. It was a little scary pulling that trigger at first, but she shoots. Now, instead of me explaining the stories behind these two guns, because these, this Belgian Cowboy Ranger has actually been in my family for 4 generations. I am the 4th, and my son will be the 5th. And this one was actually, I'll let my grandfather tell the story. I was lucky enough to get my grandfather and my father to tell their side of the story. My grandfather knew this story the best, and my father knew the World War II Arisaka the best. So I'm pretty much going to let them tell the story, but just quickly, I'm going to start with this one first. This pistol was recovered by my grandfather, my great-great-great-grandfather, who at the time lived in Hancock, Michigan, in a logging community, and he was the sheriff in this community. I'll just say his name was William. I won't give the last name. And I'll pretty much just let my grandfather tell you the story. Thanks for watching. So the train was stopped at the station when this happened, or you don't know?
All I know is that they captured him. And the German Shepherd, Scrounge dog, he was a mixed German Shepherd. Scrounge looking dog, brown. He ran him down in the train yard.
And I remember that somewhere along the line I had heard that the gun was found on the train tracks.
I don't know the details.
Yeah.
But,
Found later after the incident.
no, great-grandmother, Bill Swinston, Sheriff Bill Swinston, apprehended the robber in the train yard where the dog had him pinned down. So that the two of them were the ones that captured this robber.
Okay. And that's how he went. That's how he was called, was Bill. Bill. They called him Bill.
Yeah. And I don't know when they found the gun, whether he found the gun right away, but I know that's where he got the gun.
Mm-hmm.
And after he got the gun, after this
Kept it.
incident, he carried it.
Yeah.
That was his new sidearm, or was it a backup
Carried it
as his main?
right.
Wow. What was he using before that?
No idea.
That's crazy.
Anyway, he confiscated the gun,
Mm-hmm.
whether he used it or what, but
Yeah.
it became his. So he must have liked it.
Evidently.
He kicks pretty good.
I shot it a couple of times. He shot it more than I ever have.
I got 5 bullets left out of 50, so I put almost 50 rounds through it.
You know, there must have been a lot of rounds gone through that pistol in 4 generations.
I'm interested on how much blood it has on it. I mean, we could never really quite find out, but
Yeah. I don't even know that.
did your
that
grandpa
they-
ever shoot anybody in his sheriff years that he ever told you about?
Not that I
No?
can recall.
Well, at least we know the Jap rifle's got blood on it. That's a definite. Wow. Anything else you can remember from all? Because that opens up the story complete. Well, not completely, but
The big story at that time, and it was on the front page. Ted the dog,
Ted the dog
he was the one that got all the headlines.
saved the day. Ted the German Shepherd mix. It's like my dog, mixed German Shepherd. He saved
He
my
was
ass.
a scroungy looking dog. I got pictures of him someplace. In there. Brown, real shaggy looking, but big.
Yeah. Wow. Now I'll let my dad tell the story of the Arisaka 99 Long, which is the sniper version of this gun. What about the Jap rifle? I mean, I've heard your story, but what's your version of it?
He knows more than I do.
Yeah.
Grandpa used it to down and tell him more than me.
Okay, well, if he says anything, if you remember something that he doesn't, feel free to chime in. Action!
Action. Well, again, you know, veterans don't tell a whole lot about what happened during the war.
That's why he never told us.
And again, the story that I'm going to tell you is very short because, like I say, you know, the veterans just don't talk about, you know, the war. But grandfather was in the Marines, and obviously he had to be in some South Pacific island, you know, if he was dealing with the Japanese.
First Division.
1st Division Marine. Okay, so I didn't know that. But the story, as I was told, from what I can remember, was his patrol, or whatever they call themselves, their group was on patrol. Their unit was on patrol. And I guess they were going up this hill, and obviously being on an island, there was a lot of palm trees and that kind of thing. And the patrol had gone past this single palm tree or whatever at the top of the hill and gone past it and were moving on. And they had heard a shot, and one of the guys in the patrol had gotten hit, and as it was described to me, it was a perfect shot just below his helmet and hit this guy right in the spinal cord and dropped instantly. Well, obviously the patrol turned around and went back to get this sniper, And obviously they got the sniper, and Grandpa brought this weapon back as a war prize. And really, that's all I know of the story. I know for him to bring it back to the States, they had to grind off the Japanese. What are they,
it's not insignia. They call it something else.
Chrysanthemum or whatever, because it was a
Something like
symbol.
that.
It was a symbol of the imperial.
And they didn't want the Japanese didn't want to lose face, so they
Right.
ground off the
So
imperial symbol.
that chrysanthemum was ground off. I don't remember seeing any other grinds on it.
That
But
was the only one.
you know, it was brought back as a war prize, and that's how he came to come upon it. You know, what island or just exactly what time?
But this
That's
was
really
World
all I
War
know.
II.
Well, World War II, yeah. But again, what island in the Pacific? I don't know.
So, everybody, those are the two stories. Like I said at first, I originally thought that the Arisaka was going to be the better story because I knew this story better. I had certainly heard the train robbery attempt story of the Belgian-made Cowboy Ranger, but until I actually went to my grandfather and until I really went to my grandfather and got the extended version of the story, I thought this was the better story because this rifle has blood on its hands, basically. But after hearing the story of the Belgian-made Cowboy Ranger, I actually think this is a better story. I may annotate it in the video, but something that wasn't really captured was that the hero of the story for this pistol was actually Ted the dog, which was a German Shepherd mix, mostly German Shepherds, you know, large dog, that actually pinned down the perpetrator, the potential robber. Something that my grandfather told me afterwards is that actually that Ted the dog was shot by the robber during the robbery, was shot in the head, and was blinded in the left eye from that shot, and lived to, you know, fight and live another day for actually quite a few more years afterwards, but was shot in the head and still pinned down the robber, while my great-great-great-grandfather William was able to arrest him and later found this very pistol, alongside the railroad tracks after the confrontation, and kept it for himself and kept it as his main sidearm as the sheriff of Hancock, Michigan. So actually, after going into a little bit of family history, which I never knew before, and there were certain aspects my grandfather and my father didn't know, that with sitting both of them down and having them both tell their sides of the story, you know, the stories that they knew, they learned something as well. So thank you, ShotGunShanni, for putting on this contest, because prizes or anything aside, you have helped me learn more about my own family history, and this is my family's history. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, ShotGunShanni, and if anyone wants to know, I have plenty of more details on both of the stories and both of the models of firearms that are in this video. If anyone wants to know more details about either one, please just send me a personal message, and I'll send you all the information that I have on both of these firearms. There's more details about it. If anyone's really interested, just, like I said, send me a PM, and I'll gladly forward you all the information that I have on either one. So once again, thank you, ShotGunShanni, and thank you, William. And even if I don't win, please look into their holsters and all the leather products that they make, because they are absolutely gorgeous. And thank you for watching, everybody. Again, Alone with Company out. Long live the people.